Feed me. Feed me more. Feed me more. The Ryback Show starts now.
Welcome to the Ryback Show, Friday live. I am the big guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me for another installment of the Ryback Show. Brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplements for men and women, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No artificial sweeteners or colors, and vegan-friendly, available on feedmemore.com. Save 20%. Get 20% off your orders with discount code RybackShow20, RybackShow20 on feedmemore.com. Premium supplements, guys, the best on the planet. We started this with 3 supplements. We're all the way up to 13 with our 2 sweet insulin optimizer, glucose support, blood sugar stabilizer formula coming out here very, very soon. A lot of really cool and exciting things. All month of August, you get a free Feed Me More Nutrition black shaker bottle as well, guys. The Feed Me More Nutrition black shaker bottle all the month of August with your orders as your free gift. Just select it on the pop-up on the menu. And that's what's going on. Good to see everyone. We're streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well. The big guy Ryback 22. We are about to hit 1.5 million any day now on TikTok. And Lana is the next target, even though she's not really a target. But Lana has at 1.5 million on TikTok. And so we should hit 1.6 within the next few weeks after, based on how fast we're growing. And once we do that, it will be official. We will be the number 2 most followed pro wrestler on TikTok, behind only The Rock, as far as involvement in pro wrestling, even though I've been off of TV and The Rock is off doing movies and he's on a whole other level altogether. But very cool to see that, especially being able to do this in the last 20, 21 months, not being on TV. Very, very cool. And I thank all of you for the love and support over on TikTok and Instagram as well. Super chats coming in. As you know, super chats get pulled up on the screen on the show here. Super chats are always encouraged. Let me, we should set goals. I see people do that on Twitch. They set targets. I should be today's target is $1,000 in super chats. Matt Helms, thank you for $10. Didn't even ask a question. Very cool of you, Matt. Thank you very much, buddy. Hope you're doing well and appreciate the love and support. Pizza rolls. I see Bear 06. What do we got going on today, guys? I'm here for you guys. I know a lot of people are excited over the AEW Rampage show that should be coming on shortly on the East Coast. It will come on here at 10 p.m. Pacific time. So it will be actually airing live, I think, at 7 p.m. here, but it doesn't air on TV until 10 with all of that. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. Hopefully they have a great show. I will be tuning in later on before I call it an evening and head upstairs with the dogs. Could I get my dogs on the show? Not at the moment. I cannot. Rob Manganillo. Hey, Alan. Hey, that's my middle name. Hey, Alan. So what made you become vegan? I've been vegan for over 5 years. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I'm over a year now myself with vegetarian with cheat meals for the Ryback TV for a year, and then full vegan for a year. And I've never felt better. But I had Austin Aries on the podcast, and Austin, I met Austin through another interview that I did, and we did a little workout thing together. And he didn't talk about it too much, but I knew he was vegan. And I wanted to have a conversation about the whole thing, and amongst other things on the show when I was having guests at the time. And I just thought he gave a lot of really good information. He was very, I could just tell he's an intelligent guy. And he was very well spoken. And I thought he relayed a lot of good information on something that I had never done before. And then I read his book, and I just started it. I just kind of dove all in, and but I went vegetarian, and I didn't even know the difference at first between vegetarian and vegan. I think a lot of people don't. You hear it, and I go, oh, I thought those were interchangeable words for vegan. And then like I learned really quickly, like, because I just ignored the stuff altogether, because in my head, I always assumed, based off of everything I'd seen and known, that protein only came from animals, which is, and not saying that there wasn't protein in other foods, but high protein, you had to eat animals and dairy, and it couldn't be any further from the truth. And then once I started like listening to him and then reading the book, and then I started switching, it just made too much sense to me. And I go, the only thing I got to get over is just letting go of all these silly beliefs. And I have nothing to lose. And I wanted to get better. My health was clearly, and having all the stem cells was on the up and up and improving. But my diet was not helping me. It kept me in a constant state of inflammation. And my scar tissue in my shoulder didn't start actually breaking up until I made the transition. And I truly believe, because I ate so much steak and beef before, I ate pounds of the stuff, that my body was so inflamed that the scar tissue and the damage done to my shoulder, because that tissue wouldn't break up. When I did the stuff that I'm doing, we started off with, and it wasn't breaking. So that's why I didn't even think that was like, I didn't know how severe the scar tissue was. And it's been this process of like doing that, then doing all this rehab that wasn't working, that was hurting me because there was so much scar tissue, and then getting all these stem cells, and then switching my diet, and then doing the scar tissue work with the rehab. That's the magic formula. Now I'm almost 100%. Like, it's crazy. And my back's 100%, but my shoulder's almost 100. So it was just, I just had to open myself up. And then once I learned about the factory farming, and then the climate and the damage we're doing to our planet, and selfishly, I looked at myself first with the diet, performance wise, and then that got me my foot in the door. And then when I saw these other things, I made the connection with the animals, where now it's just like, oh, I can't contribute to this. And that's why I made the switch with my proteins for Feed Me More Nutrition, switched to the plant proteins, and lost those proteins. We had grass fed, we had great proteins. And from a business standpoint, it was probably not the best decision to make, but I then would be a hypocrite with everything I talk about capitalism for good if I would have continued to do that. And I have to lead by example. And I just took the hit. I don't care. Like, I can't, because like that's why I always try to be transparent and honest, even if it comes out at the beginning of it might not be in my best interest to be that way. At least I'm being honest. So, but yeah, man, that was just a real eye opener on the whole diet. Hey, Alan, that popped me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and, sorry guys, I got him shell shocked out of here. I apologize. If you spam the chat, man, you're out of here. Don't be bad people, guys. There's no need. And you don't make it look good for the people you follow where you try to spam like that. We always will get them, guys. We'll always get them. Hold on. Is there one other guy? We're going to get one more guy shell shocked here. I'm setting it up. Feed me more, feed me more, feed me more. I just meat hooked your candy ass. And then 184, you are going down the 702 pit of spikes in Sin City. Done, son. Get the F out. Didn't cuss. I'm really improving. This is a good question. Thoughts on the CEO of the vaccine not taking his own product? I'm unaware of that. That's something I'm going to have to look up. I have not heard anything about that. But if that is true, I'm not shocked. Why would he, if that is the case? It's an experimental vaccine with no long-term studies. I think I think that is all we need to know, if that is true. But we already know, and I know people that have taken it that have seen the warnings on what they're signing up for, and that the pharmaceutical companies have no responsibility or liability for anything that happens. That right there is all we need to know. Get down here. Sorry, guys. I apologize. We're okay, guys. We got them out of here. I'll always get to your questions. It's unfortunate. There are people out there that try to do that, but we got to continue to just stay positive and shell shock them and keep it on. I think that says a lot, though, about the people and that their show with that kind of audience. I'll never encourage my people that listen to me or watch me to ever spam other people or to talk trash. If I ever see anyone, and I've had to do this, that follows me, and I've seen like they talk trash to some of the other wrestlers and very negative and hateful, I block them. And I just can't support that mindset and that behavior. I've not gotten to the fan mail yet either. I apologize. I got a fast here later on tonight, and I will get to it. Greetings from Slovakia. Hello, hello. Do I ever wonder if, let me see 1 second, guys. Do you ever wonder if some supplements could have harsh ingredients or something? Not anything with Feed Me More Nutrition. And two, we do third-party testing, and we're doing each supplement one by one going through. And I've done this in the past, and everything always checks out at 100%. I work with a very good, reputable supplement manufacturer and work with the owner. So I've got some appearances coming up too. Appearances coming up in New York on September 18th and 19th. I've posted those on my Instagram as well. I'm going to be doing more signings. I've signed on with a company that's going to be doing more Comic-Cons as well. And I believe we've got something set up for October, and they're going to be getting more dates filled in as well. Yeah, the spammers are in full effect. I've never seen it this bad actually before. So, but it is, it will not stop anything. It might just take a second to get them all out. There's no slow mode, I believe, on the StreamYard with how I'm broadcasting. Just type your questions, guys. You guys, as far as people in the comments, you don't have to acknowledge the spam. Just ask your questions, and I will get to your questions as well. Super chats will be easy to see as well. I could pull those right up. Dead Star says, I love you, Ryback, man. You're a nice guy. And thanks. You liked my comments on feeding time. You're very welcome, buddy. I always appreciate the love and support. He's the same guy. He has like 150 accounts. Yeah, well, we will make sure to block all 150 of them. So he has to go make another 150. I don't know if we're going to see Daniel Bryan tonight on AEW. I have no idea. I think a lot of people, though, the Rampage show has a lot of excitement for tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing. It's cool having full crowds back, and for the wrestlers, I'm very happy, and for the people involved. Go ahead and get one more guy out of here. Yeah, I told you guys I'll be getting to the fan mail eventually, and when I do, I do. Very busy, and I gotta go over to the P.O. box and grab it when I can. The Vegas weather. How's the Vegas weather? The Vegas weather. This is my favorite time coming up here, kind of at the end of August into September, October, November is the best time of year here for me as far as the weather. Absolutely beautiful, especially it's like night once the sun early morning and then once the sun goes down. Very, very good temperature here, very comfortable. It could still get a little hot in the afternoon, but I'm used to it. It's not like I think we had like 1 or 2 weeks of like pure hell here where it's like that 115 to 117. Every year we get that. Sometimes it's longer than others, but we've got through it. And 117 is never fun to deal with, ever. Yeah, buddy, we are bamming the spam. Trust me, the guy has like 1,000 accounts, it's odd that they try to mess with the show and they never will stop it. If you ask your questions, I'll get to them, and we'll just work around it until they're all gone. Yeah, I saw Randy and Riddle are going to be doing a tag match at SummerSlam as well. Weather is horrible in the UK. Yeah, I wish YouTube would do what Instagram is doing, where Instagram allows you to ban all accounts under that IP, where it makes it more difficult for people to keep creating accounts and whatnot. But unfortunately, it's not a thing here. How hard did you try in Roman Reigns versus Ryback? Me and Roman have wrestled. I've wrestled Roman a lot as he was part of the Shield. Your supplements, where the question go? I am not going back to WWE, guys. My opinion on a one-day Ryback. What's your opinion on one-a-day vitamins? Good to take by themselves. Keep up the great content. Love listening to you to get through rough days at work. Thank you very much. I'm more of a fan. If you're going to take a multivitamin, not taking tablets, taking capsules, and whole food multivitamins. They have those on Amazon and different stores. But if you're going to take a multivitamin, get a whole food multivitamin. They are much, much better for you. And vitamins in capsules are better absorbed than in tablet form. But the supplements helped you lose 100 pounds. Man, Icy, that's fantastic. And that is a testament to you and your mindset of getting that hungry mindset and wanting to improve. And it's something you'll stay with you for the rest of your life. And I congratulate you. That's a great job. I love hearing that with people because I know how the positive effect it mentally and physically has on your life. You will not be seeing me at SummerSlam. I promise you. Nothing to do. I forgot they were here again. I was just like, oh yeah, the guys are going to start. They're here. Some of them were here. And I go about my day. I got my shoulder session tomorrow. I'll get my shoulder work done. I stay on the game plan and I keep doing what I'm doing. I'll probably be doing a Ryback live during the deal. And like doing what I do. I don't get too distracted. I don't watch it. I don't have Peacock. And I watch the AEW show. And if Raw or SmackDown, I'll catch here and there. A couple matches and keep the volume down and just to process a little bit of wrestling and go from there. What else do we got going on? AEW should be going on now, I think, on the East Coast, right? I think we're after 7:00. You met me in Savannah. I think I was in Savannah, Georgia once or twice. I work out typically between my whole workout and conditioning. It depends. It could be up to 3 hours, though. Up to 3 hours. Depends how much I have on the day. I grew up watching WWE or WWF, WCW. But it was WWF, then I discovered WCW. Once again, guys, if you guys don't acknowledge the spams in the comments, you guys actually make it worse for me on trying to read the comments on the questions. So if you want to do super chats, we will maybe do super chats on here, and I'll do questions from Instagram and TikTok if you want, so that I'll be able to pull those up, which would actually do the opposite of what this account is trying to do, of trying to ruin the show. What do we got going on? Trying to see Instagram. Do we have any good questions over on Instagram today? I'm not in WWE, guys. I've talked about this a million times. It's on the channel. I've been very transparent and very honest from the start on everything. There's a lot of misinformation and unfortunately lies and things that float around, obviously, when you're dealing with people doing clicks and things of that nature. But life is great. I've got my health back, and I anticipate returning to pro wrestling hopefully by the end of the year, if everything stays on track. All right, now we got a good question. Who will win this battle? A rat John Cena versus a lion-sized Dolph Ziggler. Lion-sized Dolph Ziggler all day long. If you're just going Dolph Ziggler versus John Cena, Dolph Ziggler all day long over John Cena in real life. All day long. Dolph would eat him alive. Josh asked the best way to lose 30 pounds. But you got a BMR calculator, and you got to type that in online. You got to get your daily calories that you need, and you need to start consuming 250, 300 calories less than that for anywhere to 2 to 3 weeks at a time, as well as increasing your physical activity, and then start making adjustments from there. But you got to start counting your calories and your macronutrients, and really getting an idea of how many calories. And the longer you do that, you don't have to be as strict when you start figuring that out. But initially, you do need to have an idea, because most people are clueless on the matter. And rightfully so. If you've never tracked your calories and you're not educated on nutrition, why would you know, right? Jake, my man, good to see you. Thank you very much. Always greatly appreciated to see you. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Have I ever met the Ultimate Warrior? Rob, so the Ultimate Warrior was at the WrestleMania where he then passed away the net following shortly after the Raw appearance. I never said hello to him or saw him. I think I should take that back. I think I saw him from a distance. I wasn't the biggest Ultimate Warrior fan growing up, believe it or not. I'd seen some of his matches. I was always a Hogan Macho Man guy growing up. And not to say I didn't not like Warrior. I just I watched when I was young, and I always remember Hogan and Macho Man. And then I didn't watch wrestling for a while, and then came back to it when I had friends that were really into it around that 11-year-old range, 11-year-old, 10, 11 maybe. And I just never, I think Warrior might have already been gone. And I just wasn't like, yeah, I never had a conversation with him or anything ever. I always, man, I don't know how to explain this to people. Like, I just do my thing. I don't care about anything like celebrities or like even the people, like even it shows like wrestling when celebrities are there, I literally don't care. I just go about my business. I know what I got to get done. and like I don't get distracted. And I think too, in getting into wrestling, I think it's cool to be a fan, like when you're growing up and getting in. But I think once you get into the business, like I just got rid of it. I was just like, I don't like I got over that really quickly on that. And I just looked at it as a business. And but whereas some people go the opposite way, they're very, very heavy on the fandom, and whatever you want to call it, marking out and want pictures backstage. Cool. That's just not me. I never was. So, but yeah, never, no conversations or anything, man, with him. I was signed by the WWE when I was 22 years old, almost 23. Let me get that other super chat or super sticker. Let me see if I can. I don't see it pulling up here. Thank you very much, PJ the Ripper, for the super sticker. I talked to Wade Barrett today a little bit, Stu Bennett. We were texting back and forth. Yes, I've met Sting multiple times, and always pleasant interactions with Sting. Always pleasant interactions. He's always been nice. Go ahead and take care of a few more shell shocks here. All right. It looks like I figured out the other guy. I think he might be back, but I figured out the way where we can at least delay him from coming in. I have done Indian food on the feeding time at the Saffron videos. Yes, it was at Saffron Indian Grill. Man of Steel, good to see you, Justin. Starbucks stripper fun. Any SummerSlam pop up shops planned for Feed Me More? No, I'm not doing anything. And then they weren't able to do, I guess, the for the bar, the appearance. And this is all my fault because I had people inquire months ago about doing stuff out here, and I didn't want to do anything. And I said no. And then as I'm feeling better, and it came around, and then I was like, maybe do a signing when they're here, because I wasn't doing signings, and now I'm going to be doing signings with September, then October, and probably into November, and I'm probably even on just even once I'm back wrestling, because I obviously before working for WWE, you weren't allowed to do outside appearances. That's not going to be the issue when I do go back, so I'll be able to keep my appearances. And so that is something I'm pretty excited for because those are a lot more fun and it's a lot more interaction. So where, more when you're with WWE, any appearances you do with them are kind of rushed. It would have been great to see. I agree. Thank you, Man of Steel. Yeah, Justin, we've blocked him about probably literally 100 times. I've never seen anything like this, and it's even if they were moderators, they would have trouble with this. You can get the book "Wake Up, It's Feeding Time" on Amazon and paperback, Audible, or Kindle formats. Audible as well. I did the reading for it as well. I believe is Roman the Universal Champion? I don't even know which championship is on what show, but I would anticipate Roman. You love the shell shock I did on sexual chocolate, Mark Henry. Young, there's no super chat by you. They pull up on the top here. I'm able to scroll up. There's no other super chats. Hey, Ryback, how do you deal with depression? Um, I've never, first of all, I would refuse to give depression any energy. I think sadness and feeling sad, I feel depression is very normal in all human beings. And I think it's the people that choose to give it power that let it run and dictate their lives. And then there's others. And I could say this because I've dealt with so much adversity in my life on things that would destroy people, I feel like, and with my back and my shoulder and my ankle. And no doubt, like things are not ideal, but I just refuse to be a victim. And I think that's all in a positive mindset. And as far as too is working out and training and staying active. I think when you give power to depression and then you start going into the pills and things like, man, people functioned for plenty of time without depression pills. And I think Grant Cardone talks about this a lot. We've come up with a pill for everything from the pharmaceutical industry. Like, oh, do you suffer from this? Do you suffer from that? And where people have just think like, yeah. And you think a pill is going to fix your life. The most screwed up people I've ever met that have depression are on the depression medicines, and they are a wreck, just a complete wreck. And I just think, and I'm not going to sit there, I acknowledge depression exists, and I know there's different levels to this. There's different levels to all of it. But I think it's all in our mindset of not being a victim and choosing, I've seen, and I say this because I've seen enough hungry, successful people with major adversity that don't let that stop them. And that motivates me when I see that. People have like major surgeries like Smashworks. He had COVID and then he had to have thoracic surgery right after COVID. And he's already back working out, going at it. He was working out on an oxygen tank. And I just go, that right there is a guy that refuses. He's already overcome cancer in his life. He was already supposed to be dead. And that to me is just, and that guy, I look at that guy, I go, that's a warrior. And it's a mindset. And that's where, but it comes from educating yourself and reading and learning from a lot of successful, hungry people that have overcome adversity. And the first step of though is acknowledging that you're not a victim. You're not a victim. And that, it's like the WWE suppression stuff with like my stuff. I could easily just go, well, I'm not going to tweet. I'm not going to use my social media. I go even harder. I don't let it ruin my life. I know I'm going to overcome it at some point in time. Haters, negativity, the people trying to ruin the show. These people are coming in here trying to stop me. They want me to log off. They want me to get off the show. They want to ruin it. I don't. I keep going, and they'll never win. They'll never win. I look at it as I'm consuming their time, and I'm ruining their night. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Rob, Ryback Allen, you got to check out this YouTuber named Red Pill Vegan. I will, Rob. Thank you. I've heard of that before from somebody else, so I will definitely pull that up when I get a little free time. Thank you, Rob. I'm popping on people calling me Allen tonight. It's not a common, like nobody's ever referred to me as Allen, like ever. Sonny Lamont, yo, big guy. Good to see you, Sonny. How you doing, man? Hello from Alaska. I've never been there. You're amazing, sir. Question: does getting hit with a chair hurt? Also, your thoughts on the keto diet. Getting hit with a chair can hurt. SummerSlam, Nexus versus Team Cena. I took a steel chair from Bret the Hitman Hart, which is probably one of the coolest moments in my career. Before I got eliminated, Bret hit me in the back with a steel chair, and he laid it in. It was awesome. And I say that because I felt it, but it didn't hurt me. And it looked absolutely amazing. And like Bret, I just love Bret. I loved Bret when I was younger. He was one of my favorites. And I think he's one of the best in-ring just wrestlers and storytellers and sellers, and everything he did was believable. And I'm glad I got that experience working with a guy like that, even as brief as just something small as that, because he laid it in, but he hit me as flat. It was so perfect. And I felt it, but it looked amazing. And it didn't even remotely hurt me in the sense of like, oh my God, but I felt it, and the crowd felt it, and it made a great noise. And I learned that's how I was taught coming in. hit hard in safe places, you're never going to hurt anybody, and it looks great. And but the steel chairs, if I never had to take any in the head or anything like that, but they can. You're getting hit with a steel chair, and it's yeah, they definitely there's a very and you've seen people the damage that's been done with them in the past. They could absolutely. I mean, you hit somebody with a steel chair, full blown, you can knock them cold. Especially hit them with that hard part of the chair. I mean, it's game over. Pull up the super chats here. I want to thank you, Jim Cornette fan. You're now encouraging people to leave more super chats, which is just making me more money. So you're doing a good job, Jim Cornette fan. Mark Chudy, thank you very much for the super chat. Have you ever been depressed during the pandemic, Ryback? No. I was living the life I've lived during this whole pandemic for years before everybody else had to, with my injuries and running my business before I got it to fulfillment. I did everything. And I was in lockdown and then taking care of Sophie, like before all of this. So now, though, that I'm almost better, I'm like, I hope to God everything stays. And because like I'm ready to get going. I've been doing this for years. So I was unfazed. I've had my gym. I worked out at home for a lot. I've just, and like, again, whatever they try to do, it's never going to stop me from doing what I need to do in my life. I keep, because the moment we stop doing our work to start focusing on the distractions, we lose. We lose and we lose, we lose, we lose. There's no winning at all. But if we could stay focused on our goals, despite what is going on around us, we always give ourselves a fighting chance. Yeah, I don't have AEW on, but I would anticipate, yes, CM Punk is going to be back tonight. If he's not already. That does not air until 10 p.m. Vegas time. I get along with all the Shield guys, yes. Punk made his debut already and sat in the middle of the ring. Huge mega pop. I would anticipate that. He was always in Chicago. I've seen his reactions in Chicago. They're very, very loud. Walter, yeah, my buddy and I just watched the Punk return now. That'll be great revenge. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to see how that goes. That's good. I'm hoping, and I want his return, and I want them to sign everybody they can. I think it's going to help massively with everything going on. And then by the time I'm ready, and I think there'll be some solid options, hopefully, in the world of pro wrestling. I no doubt there will be. I know there's only one Ryback, but I got to just make sure the shoulder's 100% and get ready to rock and roll. But I think things are definitely picking up excitement wise, unlike anything we've seen in a long time. Is it kind of late for the Punk hype? Yeah, that's gonna. I think that's gonna be. We got to see what the ratings come back in, and there's different theories on, Punk and that style. There's arguments for is what turned away a lot of casual people in WWE, and obviously when they started going heavy on that style of people, the ratings just continue to go down at a record rate. I think it's a balance, and I think you need a few people like that, but you can't have the overwhelming amount of the roster be that. And I think they recognize that, and I think WWE now realizes that, and there will be a balance, like there always was. There always was. And it's very hard for regular people. And I say regular people in the sense that don't like read online, they just watch weekly on TV. That if you have a 300-pound monster and a 190-pound guy that doesn't look the part, it's hard for them to suspend their belief, like in a movie. And I think that's why you need a balance. And you can't have a lot of people like that doing that at the same time. But if you have one person doing that and it's explained in a creative way, over time they could accept that. But when you do it too much, it gets very. It's like if you're watching the Hulk and a tiny little person is throwing around the Hulk and throwing him around and beating him up. You probably be like, this is stupid. This doesn't make any sense, right? That happens in pro wrestling, believe it or not, with people. And that's why I think you need people that can get people of all audiences watching that product. And I think they realize that now. And I think it's okay that it went the direction that it did. I think they realize the direction it needs to go overall. All wrestling organizations are the main ones. And I think we're going to see things balance out a bit. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Joey Styles and JBL stuff, but if JBL was extremely drunk, I would say that anybody could have KO'd him. If I could say anyone, not even JBL, I think if anybody's extremely drunk and he would drink heavy amounts. I've seen him. I was with him, taking him back to a hotel from Tough Enough. Me and I think Daniel Puder had to take him back to his hotel while he was champion during Tough Enough. He was ripped. And I mean, just rambling. I mean, just out of it. And that's cool. We've all been there. And I would argue that, I've been in conditions where I've been completely out of it, that if a physical altercation would have happened, I would have been knocked cold. No doubt. We've all been there because they're just not in a state to function or to let alone fight. So I don't know the circumstances around all of that with that, but he was definitely drinking from what I've heard. Super chat from Mark Chudy. Thank you, Mark. Have you ever scared a police officer before? No. I get along great with police. I see police in Vegas all the time. When I've done like different like little things here, and they all recognize me. They're like, not all of them, but like they're always like a lot of them do, and they're very cool. I was at a traffic light. I told you guys this like a month or two ago, maybe a month ago. I had my window down, and a cop on a bike literally stopped right next to me at the light. Stopped. We make eye contact. He goes, Ryback? I go, hey, buddy. Yeah. He goes, you live here? I go, yeah. And that was into the light turned green. And I go, see you later. But I get recognized a lot from people in general. Like everywhere I go to the gym, the people, if I go to a new gym specifically, even the gym I went to, the LVAC I go to, and 3 people today. One person took a picture and the other 2 just stopped to go, Ryback. Yeah, it's like because new people will come in there and see me and they've never seen me before. But the people that do were cool because I go in there all the time. And then there's, of course, people that don't know who you are because not everyone watches wrestling. So. My thoughts on the law of attraction and manifestation. Yeah, that's what I run my life by along with I'm a big believer that if you could take The Secret, the law of attraction, and combine it with like a Grant Cardone book, like Be Obsessed or Be Average or the 10X rule, it's the secret to success because we can do a lot with our thoughts. But when we start setting goals, and we don't even have to, like I've gotten to the point, I'm not even a fan of like mapping out goals directly anymore. I think if we know the end point and I know the work that I need to do and I know that I'm working towards it, because then that leaves some room for excitement. I got to a point where I would map out goals so strategically, it was boring because it was robotic. I need to leave a little creative freedom in there on things I've learned for me to really enjoy the process and the journey. But the law of attraction with a Grant Cardone, I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone's mindset. and he's helped me a lot with my supplements as far as through his readings and following him and his mindset on learning how to sell and learning that it is our duty and responsibility to be as successful as possible, and in that in as good of a way as humanly possible. And that's where I tie that into my capitalism for good. That capitalism is the best way. The problem is capitalism for bad. That when people are doing things at people's expense, at their health and things that are not good for them, and like, oh, well, we'll just leave it up to them to control. Like, capitalism for bad is destroying the planet. Capitalism for good is the answer. And and I believe that is going to be the future in one way, shape, or form at some point, however we get there. Yeah, Luchasaurus is a big guy as well. But yeah, I think his upside is going to be higher when he loses the mask. That's just me personally. But I don't. I've never met him. I know him through Ryan Nemeth though, and Hot Young Briley. But I definitely very talented. Yes. Boomer, thank you very much. I truly believe Feed Me More Nutrition is going to become number one. And I think once I'm back, and I think a lot of things are going to open up. And I think once I can get the social media resolved, and that will happen, it's going to be a very quick process. All the groundwork has been laid. It's a profitable company already. It's just now really, really, really scaling it at a rapid rate. India, thank you for stopping by. Hello, hello. No. Yeah, we know CM Punk is that will air at 10 o'clock here in Vegas. Brandon, when did I come out with my Feed Me More Nutrition supplement line? January of 2017, we launched. Worked on it all of 2016, and then we got it up and running and everything. January of 2017. Started with 3 supplements, and we're now up to 13. So it's been a beautiful process, and it's a lot of work, but it makes me very happy to be able to help people with the products that have helped me. Any book recommendations? The 5 Thieves of Happiness is the current book that I've listened to over and over and over again, and it is very relevant to the world that we live in right now. And I highly recommend it for all of you. The 5 Thieves of Happiness. Yeah, I apologize, guys. This guy's probably made hundreds of accounts, and I don't know what's going on. I've never seen anything like this on it, but we will continue to block them, and they will never stop anything that we're doing. I wish in like YouTube too, it would be better if they had a way to control this. And I don't even know how somebody's aware if it is multiple people on what the reasoning of it would be, but I don't know what my favorite WrestleMania growing up was. I know I was supposed to go to the WrestleMania at Caesar's Palace. My buddies, which I ended up taking to an event, they were supposed to have an extra ticket and they didn't. And so I couldn't go, but I would have been to that in person. That would have been really cool. I really wish I could have been at that growing up. We've got another super chat here. Do I think vaccine passports are crazy? Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with all this. There's no way I'm going to say I'll go out on a limb. I don't think it's going to fly with them trying to make the vaccine mandatory. I think there's going to be a massive. I think there will be more than riots if they try to go that route. And I think there will be an attack on government if they go that route personally. And I think they know that. That's why they're trying to feel this out to see how far people will go. I'm pretty confident in saying I think people will go after government if they And we're seeing it in other countries with people. I think violence escalates very, very quickly if they try to go that route. And honestly, rightfully so. We have to protect our freedom and our rights. And that is not something on an experimental vaccine that needs to be forced on people. What needs to be forced on people is for the majority of people that are dying from obesity and diabetes to fix their diet. This is nowhere near as severe or risky as what they're saying. It's not. And that is a fact. It is risky in people that are close to dying already, right? That need to change their lives. It's not everyone else's responsibility to take a risk for them. It never was and never will be. And I don't care if you want to say we're selfish, so be it. I care about me and my family, and you should care about you and your family, and you make the choices in your life to ensure your survival and your health. If somebody is severely overweight from a lifetime of cigarettes and bad eating and drinking sodas, that is on them. That is not on me and my family. And people, again, it's not like we got like a massive amount of people dropping dead that are perfectly healthy and fine. Like, it's not happening, guys. We need to wake up and realize what's going on. And this is a political money play going on. And there's a lot of other things going on in it. And that's why we have to stand up and say, no, enough is enough. We're not tolerating it. The people that are brainwashed and want to sit there and try to call names and do what you want to do. At the end of the day, watch. If it tries to go too far, violence will be the next step. I promise. Absolutely promise you. And I'm not saying by me. I'm saying by what I see with people. They're not going to tolerate it. Mark, have you ever met any famous celebrities? Yeah, I don't. Especially wrestling, there are always people backstage at TVs and whatnot. Like I told you, I don't get caught up in any of that, though. I am not coming to SummerSlam, I promise you guys. Flaming, thank you, Ryback. You are the best at explaining things. I like your conclusions on things. Thank you very much. I read a lot. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I have a lot of experience in different things. I'll never claim to know everything. Not at all. I'm always learning and open to learning, especially from intelligent people with experience. And I don't waste my time getting into like arguments and debates with people that I don't feel that I need to. I won't waste my time on that. So, and because I spend my time in better ways, but I feel like I've got pretty decent understanding of just certain things. Advice on gaining weight is you just need to know gaining weight and losing weight is very easy. All you got to do is execute a game plan of know how many calories you need per day, basal metabolic rate calculator. And then you got to start consuming 250, 300 calories. If you're gaining weight, you can go a little higher. You can even go up to 500 calories extra a day, consistently every day, as well as physical activity. I'm going to advise the 4 to 6 rep range is phenomenal for gaining muscle mass at the quickest rate possible, as well as strength on that. And you can mix some high rep stuff in there still, but 4 to 6 reps on the majority of your sets with a higher calorie diet and eating clean foods. Don't do it eating a lot of junk, and you will start putting on weight. But the key is you got to do it consistently. Yo, Ryback, I could picture you looking the same in your 60s. I honestly think I might at this rate. I go back and I look, even from when I was at my worst physically, when I left WWE and with my body, and I'd lost weight because like I couldn't even I actually stopped training after my ear and nose. I wasn't allowed to work out because I had my eardrum fixed. I wasn't allowed to lift weights, I believe, for almost 3 months. And then I started doing appearances. I just started training again. And then I did my appearances, but my body weight was the lowest it had ever been and I was still like almost 280 pounds, but I was like maybe 277, 278. I hadn't started. It took like a month or two to start putting the weight back on, even training lighter and being hurt with that. But I posted a picture on my Instagram and I could tell because my nose and ear, I could tell by looking at my face. My face looked a little different for a short period because I had to have a full-blown nose surgery. they had to fix the deviated septum, and then they had to break my nose and straighten out the bridge, because it was all wrong. And I'd had it injured my first year in pro wrestling and never got it fixed, so I could never breathe through my nose. And so, but that surgery was life changing on that. And then I could hear through my ear. I couldn't hear. I had like I forget, it was like 15 or 20% hearing through my left ear for all my adult life after getting into wrestling, because I had my eardrum busted and never got it fixed. I had a hole in my ear. I used to get infections and have to take antibiotics all the time in WWE because shower water would get in it. I just never got it fixed because I didn't want to miss any time. Then when I left, I got it all fixed. So, but I've been lucky, and I think going vegan and with the stem cells, and I don't drink a lot. I drink once a week, red wine once a week, and nothing crazy. I think I have a very good balance. And even though like I would do, even doing the Ryback TV cheat meals for a year, and when I was eating animal products, my diet, I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding this, because if you look at the Ryback TV, the vegan videos, I could eat that stuff all day long. That stuff is superior to regular fast food. So much better. But the actual fast food, the animal products, I think people would see that and then they don't understand how clean the diet is, how much I'm actually training, how big I am, how many calories I even need to begin with. I'm working out hours a day doing conditioning they've never even done. And then I'm following that up with, that was at the time I was going up to 48 to 72 hour fast. And not every week. Some weeks were just 24. But I was like, how many people do that? Not very many. So I don't think people understand. They see like the Ryback TV videos and they'll go like, oh man, that guy, he eats a lot of junk, because you're looking at all the videos over a course of years on that. And then you don't realize the grand scheme of things, and that I'm eating these vegetables and fruits and all these other things and training and doing saunas and all these things with those one cheat meals in there a week. And I think if you look at it that way, you go, oh, that's not bad. But some people can't do that. I don't have a steroid stack, my man. I'm sorry to let you down. If I did, I would tell you 100%. Like I would just be straight up. I think that's the best way to be. And even then, people wouldn't accept it. Like it's just they can't accept it now. Like they just can't. And that's just a small portion, but my daily routine to keep my vibe so high, I do affirmations in the shower every day, always, or when I'm out in the hot tub. I've done that for many years. I say thank you the beginning and the end. When I wake up, I say thank you. When I go to bed, I say thank you for this great day. And I think my diet, I eat good foods that help me with my energy. And I do things that are productive to my life each and every day, that are to get back my health, which has been my number one thing, as well as growing Feed Me More Nutrition. So everything revolves around those two things. And my dogs make me so happy, and I love my dogs. And so anything with them, and that keeps me, I look at their little faces and I'm instantly in a good mood, regardless of what's going on. Imagine if you were on steroids. If I was on steroids, I could legit be upwards of 340, 350 pounds. I would also, though, be at that weight, and I would not live a long life. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. I think I have great genetics, but I've always been, so here's the deal that people, I think, I'm very strong. Even if I was lighter, I'm very strong. I've always been very strong. And so when you're able to lift a lot of weight, you're able to build more muscle naturally through training with higher weight. A lot of people can't connect that, because a lot of people don't have that strength. And then when you do that with a very good diet and good genetics on top of it, it makes it very, like, even when I was younger and then did the steroids from 20 to 24, I barely did anything. Barely. And I remember other guys and wrestlers were telling me what they were taking. They go, oh, you must take like a ton of, and I would just be looking, like I was processing. Like I've met guys and wrestlers where, and like their low amount of testosterone, and I wouldn't even have guessed that they were even taking any by looking at them. They were like, "Oh, I'm taking 500 milligrams of testosterone, and this is my off period." And I'm literally like, "I'm just taking it for TRT," and I go, "You realize like TRT is like 100, 150 milligrams a week usually. Like you realize that, right? Maybe 200 at the high end for a certain percentage of people, but like usually between 100 milligrams and 150 milligrams a week is TRT healthy ranges." And I go, you think 500 on your own? Like, and then they're taking like 1,000, 2,000 milligrams of testosterone a week on top of all these other things. And I'm just like, I've never even done that. And when like ever. It's just crazy. And I've seen people can't comprehend it because not everyone has the right genetics. And then people just jump into like, they don't even realize like doing that much. You're just getting so many side effects and like, it's crazy. But I think that's why I've stayed very consistent and like, because I just do my stuff and I don't do that. So. Gary says, dude, you're a walking chemical lab. Gary, you're more than welcome. I'm going to actually, Gary, invite you into the chat. I would like to have a conversation with you, Gary, and then we can go ahead and discuss this with in front of all the people, because I think it's very important to have a conversation about this. Gary, click on that link and come on into the chat and let's have a conversation. How I'm a walking chemical lab. If you have the courage to talk to me face to face, it doesn't have to be anything bad, but I would like to actually get your insight and see your intelligence level face to face. Hurry up, Gary. I don't got all day. Gary, get in the chat. Don't be scared. I'm just a guy that works hard. Yeah, I'm physically very large and imposing. It could probably snap your neck very quickly if I wanted in real life, Gary, but come on in. Let's talk. Let the people see your face, Gary. Gary, you come into the chat and we could discuss all of this. I've done drug testing for years, Gary. PJ the Ripper, thank you. We have a new Rybacker. Everybody welcome PJ the Ripper. We have our newest Rybacker. Gary, you can say take a drug test all day long. I still want you to come into the chat and talk to me. Gary, have a set of balls, for God's sake. If you're going to talk trash face to face. Nobody's gotten the best of me yet in all the years I've done this. I'm welcome. If somebody gets the best of me, I'll be fine. I'll continue to do it. I'll be like, oh, I was off. But usually when I'm firing on all cylinders, it's not even going to be close. I'm waiting for Gary. We're going to wait for Gary to come in. Gary right now is cleaning up his bedroom at his parents' house, trying to like get his room organized before he's thinking about coming in the chat. He's got Mountain Dew cans, Pepsi cans, and Cheeto bags all over his room, as well as toaster strudel pastry, empty boxes, and Doritos and Cheerios and Milk Duds and Mike and Mike's. Gary, I don't care that your room's a mess. Get in the chat and talk to me face to face. Have some respect for yourself. The chat is laughing at you, Gary. I'm laughing at you. It's embarrassing at this point. No, Liling, we're not mad. This is having fun. This is called being entertaining. The ratings, the numbers always go up when we have a chat with a hater. I need Gary to come in to the chat. Yeah, Gary's scared. All right. Gary just hopped in the shower because he hasn't showered in 13 days. Gary's trying to get clean to look presentable before he goes live on the chat. Gary was jerking off to CM Punk's return, so he hopped in the shower before going live with Ryback. Gary rampaged all over himself. Gary, where do you live? Is there somebody that lives in Gary City that can help Gary get live in the chat? Gary needs a little bit of help. Gary's very special. I have, Mike, I have done the plant-based chorizo. Yeah, no evil. It's really hard to find now because it's always out of stock. They have the best one I've ever had, though. Pakistan, what's going on? Hope everything's going well. Yes, guys, I've heard Punk has been signed. Everyone's let me know in the chat. I think we all knew that was happening. Horny Noodles has joined the chat, but Horny Noodles, you're not the one I want to talk to. I'm sorry. Horny Noodles. Hell of a name, though. I'll give you credit when I see a good name. I am friends with Dolph Ziggler, yes. Dylan, good to see you, Dylan Ushler. Thank you for the super chat. You're a legend, Ryback. Appreciate the I thought it said wholesome, the awesome content you release. Feed me more. Thank you very much, buddy. And I appreciate the love and support. These are a lot of fun for me to do. I'm going to do these forever. Like this is really something I enjoy doing. This is more fun to me than doing guest. Even though I think having a guest on in the future occasionally will be, and I'd like to do that for you guys to be able to have guests on still, and I will at some point again. I'm just right now with the way my schedule is and getting the shoulder and all the work I'm doing, I fit this in where I can get it in, and like it's a lot of fun to be able to do this and talk to you guys. Is Gary related to Dave Meltzer? He very well may be. Dan, I like it. You said Dan Meltzer. Yeah, Gary's left the chat. Gary couldn't even take it. Gary just left. Man. Sarah says, what do I like to do for fun? Everything I do is fun. I'm so simple, but I roll on my softball a lot. I'm always just thinking of things for Feed Me More Nutrition, social media content, different ideas, marketing strategies, promotions. Speaking of, guys, check out Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. Save 20% with discount code Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20 on feedmemore.com. Ryback is from my name, Ryan, my birth name, and my silverback nickname. And I combined them and I got Ryback. Yeah, Gary's going to be my first match back. He's going to be my Barry Stevens. Joseph, thank you. Your positivity and energy is the anti-venom for the toxic crowd. That really does bother them. They honestly, I've never lost an ounce of sleep. I've never been, even if something, it's like where you wish you could see that person in person at the moment. It's never ruined anything. Because I've always realized, they go, oh, just don't let it distract you from what you need to get done. Your boy, Zach. Hey, Ryback, love your channel and work. I was so angry you got screwed out of not being WWE champion, but you are doing amazing work now. Keep it up. Thank you very much, buddy. All is well. As a physical actor, I've always played every role to the best of my ability and delivered in every role I've ever played. It's not real. In pro wrestling, you know the roles that you're playing before you go out. That's why calling it physical acting is not like a knock on the business or anything. I believe it is the healthiest way to portray the wrestling business so that the fans have a respect for the wrestlers, because there are many men and women, and I've been a champion, but there's many men and women that have not played the role of a champion, and it has no bearing on their success as a performer. And it's something that has always bothered me. And there's levels to all of this, of course. But as a whole, the performers going out there know the role they're playing before they go out there. So therefore, it is impossible to fail at a role as far as executing it, as far as what you're playing out there. Now, there's roles that people play better than others and can do better than others. Absolutely. And that's even arguable and subjective to the individual opinion on that. But I do believe wrestling and physical acting is the way to portray it to people, to have it be accepted. for what it is. I think we've got Gary. This could be a fake account pretending to be Gary. We're going to find out, though. Let me find out.
Yo, fatback, shut the fuck up. Stop doing the drugs and stop being a bastard.
Show your face, Gary. You have a picture. I don't even know. Gary's left. Gary was the guy doing the Jim Cornette stuff because he uses Jim's. The fatback name is one of the big mysteries to me on with that whole deal, but he definitely sounds like he is from some part of West Virginia. Poor Gary. Hey, fatback. That was like this happened once before. The guy from New York City, he was borderline, no joke, mentally handicapped. He was pretty close if he wasn't. He was one chromosome away. I can't remember what, it might have been a Judge Ryback deal. He was completely, like, I could just tell the moment he started talking, and like it was, I go, oh, this guy, just a menace to society, just a lost cause, will never contribute an ounce of good to anything in his life. Gary reminds me of that. Yeah, the New York lunatic guy. He was by far the worst. Gary's not even good enough to be the worst. Gary's like second or third worst. Gary, you suck. You can't even be the worst fan, Gary. You got to step it up. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate the kind words. Guys, I stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope Live. I stream on TikTok and Instagram. So I just have the shot of the show from the tablet and the phone. I'm glad Punk's in AEW. I'll have to tune in to see. My goal will be to come back and rewrite history, have the longest undefeated streak in pro wrestling, and hopefully CM Punk is holding the title once again. And we will right the wrongs of the past. Yeah, that would be the ultimate situation. Break Goldberg's streak, shut everybody up on that end, have the longest undefeated streak in professional wrestling, and then CM Punk is holding the championship, and we right the wrongs of the past. That would be great. There'd be so many people that would love that and so many people that would hate that. And that would catapult me to the most polarizing man in physical acting, in which I would remind the people every night of that. I am the most polarizing man in physical acting. With that beautiful Ryback smile. With a wink. I can see that happening too. I've done it before. I could do it again. What do I think WWE is doing right now with CM Punk and AEW? Vince is probably in Vegas getting plowed by a hooker with a strap on in his luxury hotel suite. John Laurinaitis is standing out the door as security. Outside his door is security with Bruce Pritchard as the Stooges, while Vince is getting plowed by a stripper with a strap on. I don't even think he realizes what's going on. God damn it! Deeper! Yeah, big. I honestly think I'm not even lying. I already know I'll be great at stand-up. I don't have time to go do another career at this point in my life. I like being an entrepreneur and like doing this with Feed Me More Nutrition and then go back to wrestling. Maybe down the line I'll go interrupt. Ziggler invited me to come do his show here in Vegas tomorrow. I don't want to be around anybody. I'm not even going. I don't want to. I debated it, and I'm like, I don't even want to see anybody. I'm not going back there. I love everybody. I just don't want to see anybody until I'm back. I'd rather just sit on my softball until my shoulder's better, and then I can go back to business. Vince is in Allegiant Stadium right now in a luxury suite, just butt naked, wrinkled old little steroid, wrinkled skin body, nutsack, not hanging low from all the roids. It's completely sucked up in him. And then in a couple, Stephanie, not McMahon, another stripper named Stephanie. He's big on his strippers being named Stephanie. And Linda, both strippers are named after his wife and daughter, and they both got the strap-ons just going to town on him in a luxury suite at Allegiant Stadium. And then after him and Kevin Dunn are going to go for a nice steak dinner, steak and asparagus, and then get to bed early. And then they got a big long day at Allegiant Stadium. I take it back. Pritchard, they're not in a hotel room. Pritchard and Johnny are in the suite at Allegiant Stadium jerking off to the situation. Vince makes him jerk off, sit in the corner and jerk off as like it is a power play by Vince. What's going on, guys? Good to see all you guys. Vince is going to show up at my house tomorrow morning. A limo is going to pull up out front. I'm going to have my 45 and pick him off from the upstairs window with Sophie and little guy by my side. I do it. My John Laurinaitis voice, I think, might be as good as anybody's. Johnny, because my voice is already, like when I lose my voice is almost identical to Johnny's. And I've had enough interaction. I love John Laurinaitis. John's hired me twice. I like Johnny a lot, but I love impersonating Johnny's voice. God damn it! What do you mean Goldberg doesn't want to put over Lashley? Vince, I know we're in Vegas. We got Ryback. He's about 30 minutes away. Let's give the big guy a call. I think we could do some sort of schmoz with him and Goldberg and set up a match at Afghanistan and then eventually for WrestleMania. That wasn't my best Johnny, though. God damn it, I love it. How's he look? Here's his Instagram. He's looking pretty good shape. Can I hope the karma gets back at Vin? No, it will. Everything will work itself out. I wouldn't have been allowed to get my health back if I wasn't going to come back and fuck everything up. Do you think I would have nobody's ever overcome a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement of having to have that done? And I have. Do you think like that's just, I'm being gifted my health back to just sit around and do nothing? Oh no, I've been gifted my health back to come back and fuck shit up. Like I'm super pumped. I am super pumped. That's why I have no fear. I've always been protected my whole life. I've always worked hard and been protected. And the day that I don't, then I die, and then I'll be gone. But until then, I've been protected. Do I think losing the IC title at the 2015 Night of Champions was my end? No, that happened because I didn't re-sign the contract, so they took the title off me. The title was put on me to sign the contract, a new contract extension. You guys are very clueless to the way things work in the business. And I was privy to it all along with that. I was already checked out at that point. So like I said, I didn't even care. I didn't even care. I remember Hunter had a meeting with me. Like I think they were scared that I wasn't going to drop the title to Kevin or something. Hunter's like, "Are you okay doing this?" And I go, "What are you talking about? I already know what's going on." He's like, "Well, what do you mean you know what's going on?" I go, "Yeah, I know. I'm not signing the contract. You guys, I don't care. It's a prop. Like, I don't care." Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Like, God, I'm not the IC champion. If I never hold a championship the rest of my career, I don't give a shit, guys. I can't stress. I've been like this from day one since I've gotten the business. It's great if it happens, but it's not like something. I don't put any stock in how people, it's all roles and playing. And I look at my life and my happiness as a whole. So, and it's not discrediting anything. It's not knocking anything. It's the healthiest way to look at the business. Too many people get caught up in who and what they are and the titles and like that. Like it's very dangerous. And that's not saying like championships can be very important in how you portray that and in the leading up to it and what's going on. And there's always real stories amongst that and with that. And that's not discrediting any of that. I have my views on the business that I have earned through breaking my body and being in the business my whole life. So that's why I'll never let anybody ever like stop me from my views on the business. I love wrestling. I love wrestling as much as anyone. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. The big guy wins the title from CM Punk. I'm curious to see what they do with him, and I hope they sign Bray, Braun, and Daniel Bryan. Guys, I've never injured CM Punk ever. I don't care what you think or anything. I've never injured him. I have been there and seen him totally fine. I wrestled him with broken ribs for a period of time. I never once complained. I used to have to get shots in my ribs before, and then I had to travel to Qatar to go wrestle him in the main event, and I could barely move. Never once complained. It's a difference in your mindset. I wish him the best, but I've never injured him, and he knows that as well. He was injured before we ever touched. And guys, it's so long ago too. It's over with. It's completely over with. Brandon, thank you very much. You got a good heart for wanting to help people. That's what I honestly like. This is the whole point of all of this and sharing things that I've learned through reading. I've had the honor of and the ability to read and process a lot of information. And I'm not to say that everything's going to help everyone, but if people can just get a little bit from every show of something that they can apply to their lives, then it gives me a sense of happiness and fulfillment. Don't spam the chat, buddy. I got to block you now. You get blocked. I hate having to shell shock people that I don't think are horrible people, but when you got to shell shock somebody, you got to shell shock somebody. Yeah, Roman Reigns, I would imagine is gonna win. If Cena wins, I'd be shocked, but because it seems like he has other things going on, but maybe he's back for a period of time and he wins another title and then drops it back to Roman in a month or two. Then he goes on. That is very possible as well. All right, you guys. With that, I got to wrap up. We went this is about an hour, 23 minutes on tonight's show. And I thank you for saying you miss me wrestling. TikTok, we're about to hit 1.5 million over there. Thank you, guys. I'm still working on my Twitter issues. They've actually suppressed the account further. I've been getting like 2,000 to 3,000 impressions, which isn't even close to 0.5%. It is what it is. So I focus on everything else. But I thank you guys for the love and support. Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. We're working on the reseller is going to be getting the listings on Walmart as well, on the Walmart marketplace. And we're going to have a lot of really cool things coming up with everything. I'm gearing up for with everything with Feed Me More Nutrition. But you get a free shaker bottle for all of August. So check that out. Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. Save 20% with discount code Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20. And thank you guys all very much for your time and energy. Have a great evening and stay hungry. Feed me more.